What's up? I got my guy LaRussell up here in the building. How you feeling, LaRussell?
You heard? I'm well.
You know, we don't got the fancy camera equipment right now. We're just the iMac. We here in the zone at the Movement B Center with a raw guy. I just want to say I'm proud of you, man. Like, I'm sure you hear it all the time.
Gratitude.
But you're really killing it. Movement B and everything we do here. BE stands for Brave Entrepreneur. Turn it down a little bit, Mike. And so I love the whole movement, and so this whole idea of like, hey, shoot, what could I get to pay for LaRussell to kind of come by the spot? You know, that typically doesn't happen, but I see you
Right.
up in the cities taking over, you know, cafes and other local businesses. And so I said, okay, if you're going to come to San Diego, you got to stop at the Movement B Center and see what we're about. But just quick, man, I guess, you know, I got Nipsey back there, you know, part of the whole kind of, you know, proud to pay. You know, how has that been for you? Just kind of shifting the whole culture of, you know, the music industry and being a brave entrepreneur. How has that been for you?
It's been phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's been phenomenal. I'm here.
That's right.
You feel me?
That's right.
Yeah.
And when you think about that work, it's like, did you see it being at the space as now, right? Because you got everybody trying to collab with you. You got all things moving. Did you see it happening this fast?
I knew it would happen as fast as I made it happen.
That's right.
And when I was doing less work, less was happening. When I started doing more work, more started happening. So I didn't envision it at this rate, but I knew, you know, if I got up in that dirt and put that shovel in there, I was going to be, you know, to some point.
That's right.
And so once I had the realization that I could expedite my journey, definitely.
That's right. I guess that's your habits, right? So I guess what has changed? Because I mean, part of the work is some people feel like they're working hard, but probably with you, it's a 10x. It's probably a different level at this point, right?
I mean, I think you said it. Some people feel like they're working hard. I don't feel like I'm working hard. I am working hard.
That's right. That's right.
That's the difference. You can feel however you want to feel. What you feel ain't always what's real.
That's right. I mean, yeah. I mean, even to come out here in the rain, you know,
exactly.
Coming out
fresh
after
off
your
the
flight,
plane.
fresh off the plane, you know, and you know, part of that is I think most people aren't adapting, you know, or adaptable, right, to things like that. So I appreciate that, right?
Yeah,
you didn't have to
we
do
move. We move with life. You feel me? Like I'm always open to life existing, and I move around that. I'm not rigid, which is what allows us to like thrive and do shit like this. You know, most artists who make it to this level, you can't touch them, you can't reach them, you can't speak to them. Like they become really, really unobtainable. But I'm still accessible, though I'm, you know, where I am. I'm still hyper accessible.
Do you think it'll always be that way? Because I mean, that gets hard at a certain point.
Yeah, it'll for sure. It's gotten harder now.
That's right.
But I'm still on that, and I think it's gonna always be that way because until I don't want it that way no more.
Okay. That's real. I mean, do you feel that at certain times? Like, all right, it's too much, right? Like, you want to kind of have some time to yourself?
Yeah, I get to turn it off when I desire.
Okay.
You feel me? That's the beauty about this. I didn't have to say yes and come here.
That's fair. That's
you
fair.
Feel me?
Yeah, that's fair.
You feel
Yeah.
me? So that's the beauty. It's like I have full reign over what I want to do with my time.
Well, that's interesting.
Energy.
Is it then? So it's not the money offers, because somebody can offer you something, you know, extremely big, and you can reject it no matter.
Yeah.
Okay,
and I
that's
do
fair.
often. You feel me? Money plays a small role in it, but all money ain't good money. You know, if I don't feel like doing it, it ain't no amount you can pay me to do it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, man. So, you know, talk about what the performance is like for you. I mean, you have this show here tomorrow. The business side of it is one thing, but you as a performer, how do you feel like you've just elevated as far as your craft? And, you know, I've seen one of your shows. I mean, the energy there, like, what is that like for you?
Man, performing is like, that's the playground.
That's
you know, that's when I get to be a kid and I get to be free and liberated and I get to enjoy myself. I get to hang with my homies and do what we do best. And that's the best part about all of it. It's just playing.
That's right.
Like, I don't have to think about the analytics or the data or the release or the rollout or nothing. I just get to be up there and be free.
But how are you? How are you memorizing all of this?
I don't.
You freestyling?
Huh? Some. Some I don't memorize. I got 500 songs. You know, I memorize what I memorize. Sometimes I use my phone. You know,
okay.
I get on stage and pull the phone out and rap lyrics. I'm not ashamed to show anyone my process.
Okay.
You feel me? But other than that, it's repetition. I mean, I rap a lot, so it just kind of get ingrained in your psyche. The same way you remember so many names of all these kids that come into your space.
Well, I guess, kind of take me back, because I mean, part of my background is, and I'm a poet, I'm an artist, and I know you had a full-time job before you kind of took that leap, right? What is that challenge like, right? Because that could have been success for you, right? And I'm sure people looking at you like, is that LaRussell who was just working at this corporate job or whatever, and now he's doing this? Like, was it just hey, let me just jump and go, right? Because it could have already been success for you in other areas.
Yeah, I mean, it was a slow incline of like, I'm gonna leave here. You feel me? Having a job was great security, but it wasn't fulfillment.
That's right.
You feel me? And that's what it was for me. Like, I always knew I've been capable of making money, so I'm not going to like take making money over being fulfilled. Because I'm a hustler. I could go make money no matter what. But I can't get fulfillment everywhere.
That's real. So, I mean, I guess when I'm thinking of trying to understand, it's like, where do you think of what that limit is? Because it's like, all right, I can post this many reels, or social media is popping, I can do this interview. Is it, like, at this point, is there a blueprint? Is there somebody that you're looking at that's like, all right, I'm still challenged? Or is it just you that you're like, all right, I'm competing with myself at this point?
Yeah, it's just me.
Okay.
And it's no competition. I'm not trying to outdo myself, outperform myself. I'm just out here doing what I want to do.
That's right.
There's no competitive edge to it. Like, I like the ball, but really it's just like when I do something I love that make me feel good and make me smile, I share it.
That's right. Okay, so I guess in the independent journey now, like, I mean, I'm sure things are going well, because is it all coming to you guys? You have nobody, no other middleman. There's nobody else helping you guys out?
In terms of what?
I guess, anything in part of the music industry, right?
There's plenty of people helping us out.
Now, right? Or is it some... Okay.
There's always been plenty of people.
But is it just a team?
No, that's all. Yeah,
okay.
It's impossible. You can't get to this level without a village of people.
Okay.
Just my team is 40, 50 niggas on some days for sure.
Okay.
You feel me? So it's always been an extensive reign. The same way this operates, you couldn't handle it yourself.
But I got a small team, right? And so that's what I'm trying to understand.
You have a small team until you scale.
And that's what I'm getting at, right? Because part of the music artist who's independent, right? You can stay small, but then you have, I'm not saying sell out, but you have to give something to get bigger, right? So I'm sure there was points where it's like, all right, I don't typically do this, but I may have to kind of go this route to kind of get bigger, right? Would you agree, or is that?
It depends on what you want for yourself. Like, you have to, in anything you do, you have to give something to get something.
That's right.
You feel me? If you want to get big in the gym, you have to give away certain food, and you gotta go get more of this in terms of weight. And music, it's the same thing. You feel me? If you want marketing, you either gotta pay somebody or give them a cut of whatever they're marketing. If you want PR, you gotta pay somebody or give them a cut of whatever they're publicizing. If you want playlist, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, the list goes on.
That's right. But I guess when I look at some artists, like, I remember, as J. Cole was coming up, as Kendrick, it was like, all right, they're in a certain frame, but if they start making music with certain artists, then I would feel like, all right, they're going a different route. But to that point, they can scale, they can reach more people.
Going a different route, like what?
Well,
what you mean?
I mean, it's part of those. It's like when people first discover you, right? It's like, all right, this is LaRussell. I know him, right? Right? If certain people, okay, you got songs with Wiz, you got songs with Snoop, now people may say, all right, well, he's independent, but is he kind of turning more mainstream in that route, right? What would you say to people who feel like, all right, well, we felt like we had LaRussell in this space, which is great opportunities, but I could see some people kind of making those comments.
I don't have no feeling towards it.
Okay, no, I respect that. I respect that.
You know, discovery is interesting because somebody just discovered me yesterday. So
That's
their
right.
only perception of LaRussell is the LaRussell they heard, and they're like, "Man, I love this indie kid."
That's right.
And then somebody who found me early is like, "Oh, he used to be this indie kid, now he's this." You feel me? So
That's right.
perception is never. It's not even something I pay too much attention to, because every single day somebody new discovers me and they have a new perspective of who I am to them based off what they learn from they dive.
That's right. And you're playing with different sounds, different genres as well.
Different
so
everything, everything, and that's what I feel like I've displayed throughout my entire journey is just like growth and experimenting. I've never been in one lane. I've never had one sound. I've never worked with just one person. I don't have any box. I have R&B albums and alternative albums and hard hip hop records, and I got slaps, and I've never stuck to one thing for anybody to have a deep opinion about me. Usually when people are like, "Oh, he went mainstream or he changed," it's because you're not making what they want you to make.
That's right.
I was never here to make what anybody wanted me to make. I've always been making what I wanted to make.
Okay.
And the people who fuck with that, fuck with that. The people who don't, they go get what they need from somewhere else.
That's right. No, that's huge, because I've seen some people say, "Oh, I wasn't a fan at LaRussell at one point," and now they become a fan.
Right? And then you have the opposite. There's some people who are like, "I was a fan and I'm no longer a fan because I don't like this," and then you have some people who like, "I didn't like that stuff back then. I love the new stuff." You know what I mean? Like it'll always be a push and pull with people. You can never. That's not a game you could really win as an artist. So it's really vital, especially for me. Like I can't get into the habit of making music for anyone else or trying to like hack something so people accept it. Like that's just not how I work.
That's right.
I'd be miserable.
That's right. Well, I guess part of what I'm inspired by, I guess I'm curious of, because you just not as a music artist. I'm looking at the ecosystem of business, right? And I see so many music artists. Right, I've always said, I look at all these black hip-hop artists. Y'all got money. We could be saving our communities. We could be doing something. And maybe it's a charity event here. Maybe it's a little give back here. But the system doesn't change, right? Do you feel part of that, right, as far as a leader in regards to when Nipsey was talking about all money in and he was buying commercial buildings? Do you see yourself going that route? Do you feel yourself giving back to the community on a long-term scale, what other artists may not be doing?
I already do that.
That's right.
Like
no, I get you.
Where I'm from, all I have is infrastructure, and all I do is empower people under me. But I also like, I don't have to.
That's right.
And no one, anybody who goes from poor to making a bunch of money that they work for and they earn themselves. Nipsey drove an S550 Maybach.
That's right.
Nipsey had $100,000 chain too.
That's right.
So it's like, people who didn't make the money don't have any determining factor on to tell you what to do with the money. If you feel like somebody should have did something with their money, then you should have made the money and did it. But for me, it's like I'm gonna always take care of home, and my community is where I live. So I don't do it for PR. It's like when I buy out the restaurant and feed people, it's because I want people to be fed. When I buy out the smoothie shop and make sure people could get smoothies, because I want them to have that. When I go get bites for the little homies and all that, it's just like that's just what I want to do.
That's right.
I'm there, but it's nothing that I have to do out of obligation.
That's right.
But when you make it and you become successful, everybody has an opinion on what you should do with what you have. But it's like, go get you some.
You're right.
Do that.
You're right. But I guess it's that education, right? And so when we talk about Movement B in this youth center, that's what we're trying to teach the kids, because we're not learning that in schools, right? And so,
what are you trying to teach them?
Well, look, there's no white men above me, right? And so part of what I'm inspired with you is, when we look at the music industry and we look at this system, there's still a white man above a lot of these artists. There's still somebody you have to who's controlling you, right? And so when we say tell your story before they do, I literally mean that, right? When I talk about black and brown businesses, it's our ecosystem, right? We either got to pour into it or it's not going to be funded.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think what's so inspiring about you is I've looked at other artists, and to your point, there's no obligation, but there's almost this educational piece that right now that says, hey, is one person going to make it and they still have to go to this white man, for support, and maybe this other, or is there some other funding opportunities for us on a large scale to shift the music industry altogether?
Yeah, I think it's a tough thing, right? Because we all have the imagination of, like, if LeBron, Curry, Wade, all the greats put their money together, why don't they just start their own league? And they all have billions, right? Mm-hmm. Like, it only makes sense for them to have their own. Why go play for a white man? Mm-hmm. And it is due to, like, a lack of education and a lack of, like, will to build that kind of infrastructure. Like, everyone knocks the labels, but they don't rebuild a new one. Mm-hmm. And it's because they don't have the will and might to do that. Like, I've had to build all of my own infrastructure to get to this point. I got here independently. 1.7 million followers and millions of views and all this shit. Like, I had to rebuild a whole lot of infrastructure. When I travel, I have to buy 6 to 12 flights sometimes. And I gotta have 3 Airbnbs, and I got black trucks and vans to move all these people around. And when I go home, I take care of my mama and my pops and my son. It's like, everybody don't want to do that shit. That's right. Some niggas just want to make their money and be able to, like, it's like they were poor. They finally got some money, and now everybody wants you to do something specific with it. But, it takes a process. You got to wear, and the best way to do it is to show. It's easy to holler and say, do this, do this, do this. But until you in that position where you get $1 million check, and it's like, damn, I need to take care of all of this and take care of all these, and then somebody wants you to go do this, but it's like, who's going to help me pay these taxes? Who's going to help me take care of my mom? Who's going to take care of all these things, you feel me? So it's a lot that comes with it that people don't see, and infrastructure building isn't an easy thing. The music industry has been what it's been for so long because for hundreds of years they've compiled their money and educated each other on a system and built a funnel for it to do this. That's right. You feel me?
That's right. No, I mean, I totally get you, and I get you with the not wanting to have that obligation, but you're doing it naturally already. And I think what I'm pointing at is that we're lacking black leaders today, right? Yeah. And when I look at, I look at a Nipsey, and when I look at some of these rappers, it's these, if you talk about Martin, you talk about Malcolm, right? Like, you are starting to enter those conversations of, like, I'm not just a rapper, right? Mm-hmm. I'm a change agent. I'm a leader, right? And to that point, I think there's other people who would like to help you and help your team ultimately in those systems, if possible, right? Because I don't think the young people are looking at any other artists in that way, in what you've done, right? And so, part of, I guess what I'm looking to, maybe kind of learn from you in that regard is, I typically say if you can teach Shakespeare, you can teach Tupac, right? And so, they're all poets, right? And so, I guess when you look at the big plan of that, do you see yourself in that way as a social leader? Or have you always like, no, I'm just a rapper, I just do this for fun? Or do you take that?
I'm definitely in that category.
Okay.
Just like, nigga, I'm a human.
That's right.
That people like to follow, and they like my ideology and my thought, and I take on my role as a leader, like me doing these shows and touching the people the way I touch them. It's me spreading the wealth. You feel me? Giving people experience that they've never had, so they start to think differently. So when they do see another rapper who's not smiling and not coming out in the line, hugging them and teaching them and sharing them information and game, they start to think. You feel me? So it's a process though of wearing people down until they finally is in a new state of what they accept and what they okay with.
Well, yeah, because I mean, even Black Boy Joy and like the music you guys are making as far as dance and a new dance, like, I mean, it's just different, you know, and it's, it's powerful. And so I guess when you kind of see how your movement is building. I guess talk about kind of the new dance movement and what do you kind of what do you kind of see with that in regards to the culture?
We just getting niggas back in the living room with their family.
That's right.
You hear me? We getting niggas back at the cookout with the family.
That's right.
In the park dancing, in the backyard dancing, in the garage dancing. And there's nothing bigger than that for me. Right. You feel me? Like me making these records is really me just reliving my childhood and putting something into the culture that was so vital to me growing up. I know what the Cha-Cha Slide and Cupid Shuffle did for us coming up, so I wanted to give this new generation something to have with their parents. When that beat drop and that come on, you know, everybody get up and feel how they feel. So yeah, it's just me sharing the energy that made me who I am.
That's right. So who do you kind of look as far as, and I know there's not a blueprint, but what artists do you respect and kind of look up to as far as like, all right, this is my model?
Right now?
Right now.
No one.
No one. There's nobody right now. Who do you listen to?
Me.
You don't listen to nobody else.
And
that's fair. I mean,
usually when I listen to music, I'm listening to like older music.
Okay.
You know, like when I find new youngins I like I love Mally, I love Reezy, I love Samara Sin. But for the most part, I listen to like older music or myself, or like I don't even really get the same time. I listen to a lot of me. You feel me?
Okay.
Like I don't really get the time to listen to music leisurely no more like I used to when I was young. Like I be grinding.
Yeah.
You feel me? So nobody really. You know, if I'm in a deep dive and I'm slapping music, I'm listening to old Ye and Tupac and DMX and Nip, and you know, I don't really have anyone that I look towards that I'm like, man, this is the blueprint in a way. Like I'm leading that.
That's real. I mean, and I'm glad that you're owning that. So, I mean, did you post something about the Super Bowl? That you wanted to perform at the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
So, is that, you see that vision happening in the next?
Yeah,
okay.
That's coming.
Okay.
That's coming.
So, are you manifesting? Are you really affirming everything that you know, has to this point, did you say 5 years ago, like, this is what I was going to do, and you kind of spoke things into existence? Is that real to tell the kids that you can speak things to existence?
No, you can't speak things into existence.
Okay.
But you could work them
you can
into
work,
existence.
Okay. But do you have to state it first and then work to it? Okay.
No, you
okay,
don't
just
have
work
to
it.
say it at all. You
Okay.
can just will it into existence. I ain't got to tell you nothing. I can just go out there and turn off the lights and it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Or I can say, hey, I'm finna go turn them lights off and then go do it.
Yeah.
But you never have to say it. But I think it helps. I think it puts it in the atmosphere and in the air. But if you say it and don't go work it, then nothing happens, you know?
That's deep. So what time are you waking up, typically? Are you sleeping? I mean, is it 20?
That's
is it going?
It just depends. Like, you know, last week I was getting up with my dog Fonny, so I was getting up early. Some days it could be 5:30, it could be 8, it could be 10, it could be 11. Shit, it depends on what I'm on.
Okay, but you can record, because I know Larry June talked about he records like 4 to 7 a.m. daily. That's his system. You record anytime, anywhere.
I prefer to do music in the daytime.
Okay.
I prefer to do everything in the daytime. That's why my shows is there. I don't like doing night shows. I don't like doing night studio sets. I don't like doing none of that shit. But I will. But I don't have a regimen for music anymore. You know, like I used to make music every day and I spent hours, but I don't do that no more. But when I do make music, I'm really like intentional and committed. You know, I make music in bulk. So if I get in the studio, I'm probably leaving with 4, 5, 6 songs. If I'm in there all day, I'm leaving with 15, 16, you know. But I don't make music every day. But every day I'm just like living, being creative, gaining information, gaining knowledge, moving it, working, you know.
And as far as the features now, are these people reaching out to you, or are these people you want to have features with? Is it a mix of both?
Yeah, I don't really want to have. I don't have like a list of niggas like, man, I really want to work with them. It just happened like mutual connections. Like somebody tap in and we connect and we make something. But I don't really like go seeking for it or nothing. It just kind of finds it. We find each other.
And I see you kind of talk about the Bay, because it's interesting talking about Mike, San Diego. And you've had a couple shows here now, right?
Yeah.
Or do you know any San Diego artists? Is there like any... The Bay has artists, LA has artists. Is there anybody that pops out in San Diego?
I did some features with a few artists from here,
Okay.
and then I met Mitchie Slick. Mitchie Slick from here.
That's what I'm saying. So most people think Mitchie Slick,
But I don't know. I just met him recently, and then I did a track with an artist named Loose Lyric from out here.
Okay.
But other than that, no. I'm not tapped into the culture in the region. A lot of markets, you won't know who's there. It's like Vallejo. Like you don't know no artists from Vallejo except the ones who are the ones who made it, and that's right. Every region. You don't know them unless you're there actively.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, and you've showed so much respect to Vallejo, and it's like that's like you said, that's where the love is. And so, how important is that as far as an artist? Because an artist feels like they need to claim somewhere, but it's like for the San Diego rapper, it's like, well, it's Mitchie Slick, right? You kind of get that stamp. Did you feel like you got that stamp in the Bay, or?
Like as an
artist, right? Did you feel like E40 and like Bay artists were like, all right, I'm letting you guys know LaRussell.
Yeah. Home champion me heavy.
Okay.
Like all my OGs root for me.
That's right.
All the youngest root for home know what's up.
That's right. And that's respectable because that's my point. It's like Mitchie Slick, so if you're a San Diego rapper and Mitchie ain't fucking with you, it's like, how do I get my break? So that's why I feel like cities.
I don't think so though.
Okay.
Because I don't know Mitchie Slick from rapping.
Okay.
I just met him last time I was here, and they was like, "Oh yeah, Mitchie Slick," and he kind of explained. I didn't know him from rapping or his music or nothing. I literally just met him at the venue with Richie Rich.
I see.
You feel me? So and so for me, if you're a San Diego artist and Mitchie Slick don't approve of you, it don't mean nothing to me because I didn't know him. You feel me?
I see.
So I don't think anyone should base that on like their break. And even with me, I didn't break through because anyone approved of me.
Okay.
I was having it and moving before anybody said something. People start saying something because of how I was moving. I didn't start moving like that because I got the validation. I got the validation because I was moving like that.
But would you say the Bay has a culture and a sound, right? That you kind of grew up on, right? That's kind of part of your sound, right? And I think that's what I'm getting at. San Diego may not have that, and so is it important for an artist to grow up with an influence of a culture?
No.
Okay.
I don't have a sound.
Okay.
If you go through my discography from Field Effect to Never Forget, to Silence Won't Save You, to Field Effect 2, to I'm About to Fly, to Clarity, to Dragonfly, I have, out of my 35 albums, 5 of them probably have the Bay sound.
Okay.
So no, I don't think you have to have a sound from where you derive. I just start making music that's like more Bay derived and like the shit I grew up on.
Okay.
But when I was coming in, like you didn't hear, it was seldom. Like I had a Hyphy 2020 and Hyphy back, but it was seldom. It was a lot more. A lot of people thought I was from the East Coast because of how I was rapping and what I was rapping about. So I don't know. I don't agree. I went viral early from Breakfast Club and LA Leakers and shit like that, and it was people didn't know where I was from yet.
Okay, I can respect that.
And I think that applies anywhere. Like you don't have to have a sound associated with your region to blow. You just gotta have great music and a great spirit. Like if people like you, they like you. I don't even give a fuck about where you from until I like you. I don't care. You feel me?
But
like,
you do care where they're from after.
I still don't care.
Okay.
But it helps add to the story.
Okay.
You feel me? Now it's like, I could dive deeper. But if I don't hear something I enjoy, I don't give a fuck where you from.
One of your guys, he's from Merced. What's his name?
Mally. Right?
Merced.
And it's like, you don't know what the fuck Merced is.
Yeah.
You didn't even care
right.
until you heard and you like, man, this little nigga a dog. Yeah. Now you're like, and he from Merced. But ain't nobody give a fuck if you don't like it.
That's right.
You feel me? So with people here, and San Diego's one of those places like Seattle where like, you guys don't have like a cultural sound per se, because it's like it's integrated within the West Coast. Y'all listen to the LA shit, y'all listen to the Bay shit,
right.
You feel me? So it's not a cultural sound. So it's like you're free to really be. It's like you have unlimited freedom to be. Coming from the region is a bit harder for me because like to break through the Bay, sometimes you gotta make Bay music for people to relate and connect. But when you hear, it's like, bro, make whatever the fuck you want to make because you don't have that restriction.
Well, no, that's interesting because it's, you talk about 30, 35, how many albums?
Yeah.
30, okay.
Yeah.
And you just knew, because you kind of broke the whole code, because people are like, all right, my first album has to, and people kind of wait, they call them mixtapes before, but you just, so if you were nominated for the Grammy, are you considered still a best new artist, would you say?
I think I'm a new artist my whole career.
Okay.
Because if you just found me yesterday, I'm new to you.
Okay.
So I think that you're a new artist as long as you're new to somebody.
Is that in excuse me, just my ignorance, is that system as an independent as far as Grammys, are you still eligible? Does that still work without?
Yeah, you can still submit. You can still be a part of the Recording Academy. Like we've been offered to be a part of the Recording Academy so we could vote and so we could vote and state our voice in matters that independence don't stop you from nothing. The only thing that stop you from shit is lack of communication and being in the loop. Okay. Like if people don't like you or know you or you don't have representation, then you're never going to be in the picture. But if people know about you, they gonna want you in a loop and in a picture. So no, being independent don't stop you from being able to obtain none of that. Only difference is you don't have as much representation in the building. If I'm independent, then it's like me and my team. If I'm with Universal, it's Universal and the 5,000 niggas that they hire. You feel me? So that's the only reason why you don't see indie niggas in those rooms as much, is because your representation is limited.
Do you feel? Because you were saying some stuff about Rock Nation. Like, what are they saying now? Right after
I just had a meeting with them. I've been talking. They got new A&R and like new staff over there, and they hit me and was like, "Man, all that shit back then is not how we feel. It don't represent us. We love you over here. We respect you, and we don't want that to be our last impression on you of like that's what we own." Okay. And I thought that was a beautiful thing.
But you still wouldn't work with them. You would still stay, or what would you?
I would work with them if it's something that aligns and makes sense. Okay. But I'm not. It's not like a focus for me. Yes, but sir. If they came with something that's like, hey, this makes sense. We would love to do this. I'm not like I hate you niggas. I don't fuck with you. You feel me? That's right.
Well, yeah. It's just I would. I think of Nipsey, and he was independent, right? Did his first album with Atlantic,
and that's the thing with Nip, like. Nip was signed his whole journey. Okay. But like there's variations of independence. There's independence like independent, it's just me, ain't nobody else around this bitch. Mm-hmm. And then there's independence like, no, I'm independent as in I do this shit with my team and my in-house and I put my paper up, but I still got infrastructure. Nip was signed his whole journey. Okay. Like he went from his first deal and then left there and he went with Johnny Shipes and him and Cinematic, like all the big shit, the $100, everything you were seeing is like, he had infrastructure around him to support that, and then going into Atlantic, you feel me? But Nip was independent in the sense of like, nigga, we putting our own paper up, we using some of their paper, we coming up with the marketing ideas and the schemes, and I own my masters. You feel me? But the misconstrue sometimes is people like, I'm gonna be indie like Nip, and it's like you don't have a full picture. Nip wasn't alone. Yeah. Nip had niggas who had paper around him and a whole team and staff that does marketing and digital. You feel me? Like it wasn't just him.
So who was your peers? Is Russ still your peers? Kind of on this independent journey?
Of course.
Okay, so I see people like Russ, like yourself, but I guess you guys are at the top as far as the independent space, right?
Chance.
Toby. Okay, Chance. Okay,
yeah, okay. It's a lot of us.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you've been booked. You've been doing shows. You've done international?
Nah, just Canada.
Okay. Do you have a plan to do some international shows in the future? Or?
Not really. I don't enjoy traveling that much. Okay. But we'll see. You know? Yeah. I really enjoy being home, and I've been building my career around the ability to like bring the world to me.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, man, I didn't even want to take a lot of your time today, man. I really knew that you guys were kind of coming out here. And you got a show tomorrow, and I was like, let me kind of figure this out, man.
Yeah, so you should come to the show.
I'll be there. I'll work it out, right. But, you got a home here in San Diego. However we kind of support.
Who's the artist right now from here who's like having motion?
I say weirdo, little weirdo.
Little Weirdo?
Yeah,
I haven't heard of him.
he's right now. They work with the OTR guys.
Like lefty in him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
so-
Mexican?
Yeah,
I think I have seen this shit.
yeah. He's
I think I have seen. He can rap.
Hella deep voice too.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that may be a connect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then
But who did y'all listen to growing up? Like who shaped the sound?
the Bay actually.
Yeah.
We grew up Keith the Snake, you know,
40.
all was
Sure.
yeah. Cause San Diego took a lot from the Bay,
Mm.
you know what I'm saying. So we were kind of we didn't know where to position ourselves. L.A., the Bay for the most part.
Yeah.
But, I grew up, like, we're big on spoken word. So, T, it's like, that's why I've done all the intros for Ty Dolla $ign. I've done, so the song L.A., that's me on there with Kendrick Lamar, Ty, James Fauntleroy. So my kind of background was, I'm trying to make it as a poet, and so when they had the spoken word category and I see what y'all been doing, I'm like, maybe there's a lane for that. But I'm like, do people listen to spoken word and poetry? And, I see
The
how you
people
kind
who
of
do. And
so,
that's what those spoken word Grammys are for. They're not for the world. They're for the people who do consume that. It's
That's
just
right.
like they have classical Grammys and they have traditional. Like it's not for everybody. It's for the people who do listen to that. And there's a whole market and field of people who do. There's spoken word artists that sell out venues. You feel me?
Yeah,
So
that's real.
it's just filling that void in that lane and being present and active in it. Every lane needs active representation. I feel like that's why I've gotten to the point I'm at, because it's almost as if like normal niggas was missing from the rap game. Like all the niggas we seen growing up, that's just like like that
That's
look
it,
and feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
us. Like it was almost like that representation was gone. It's like, where are they here?
Yeah.
And we came and filled that void.
And that's what, it's kind of like, I was telling Mike, it's just like, that's what's so dope about you, because it was like, man, I could have this crazy camera, but it's just like, LaRussell just feels like the homie. To your point, it's like the whole rap image, or you have to be a certain way, and it's cool to be smart, right? It was like the Lupe, it was, I'm college educated, but it was like, how do I fit in this space, right? And navigate it, and you've been able to really, I got swag, but I still got this mental. And so, like I said, I see the guy from Merced, other people coming up. It's like you're building this lane of like, hey, this is a vibe. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I think that's generally the issue within the game. People don't know how to show up authentically, and still feel comfortable.
That's right.
Like sometimes if somebody's showing up authentic, they feel weird because they like, they don't really, they're not comfortable with who they are.
That's right.
And the more we encourage people to do so and do that and to keep showing up that way, we'll start to see the game start to shift. And I feel like this shift is happening. Like niggas is getting tired of like the extra. Like people are craving something real. I see all these people who come to my shows and how they feel about what we doing and how they connect. Like we'll do shows and say there's 8 artists, 9 artists performing, and every artist you don't go up to and say the things that people say to me after. It's very few people that you pull to the side and you're like, man, this is why, and you're special because of this, and your impact and the words you use and the people you associate with them. Like, how many niggas you done told, like, man, you're in the lane of a Malcolm and a Martin.
Yeah.
Those are things you reserve for select few, and
right.
people are starting to wake up and realize that they want more.
That's right. I mean, and that's why, I say that to you. It's kind of, one of my closest friends, Michael Tubbs. He was the youngest mayor of Stockton, right? First black mayor, and so, I don't know if you get into politics or kind of whatever you kind of move, but it's like, I think you're in your 30s, right? I'm 33. I think there's a new group of black and brown leaders, right? And that shift is happening, and then people are looking for those opportunities. And at your events, like, these are the calls, right? The call to act. And again, no obligations, right? But it's, when people are hungry for something, and like you said, maybe you have a team around you, right, that's helping, right? And so as we kind of stay connected, I would love to kind of help and support more in any way, right? Because I think, I was telling my guy, O'Shea Jackson Jr.
Yeah.
This is my best friend. I'm like, do you know LaRussell? He's like, yeah. I want to connect. Are y'all
He
connected?
just hit me. Yeah.
Oh, he just hit
me
you
recently. Yeah.
Okay, so saying the same thing to him. He has a legacy because of his dad, and it's like he has his pressure. But we talk, and it's like we know it's us, right? We know it's the future of like black men as young leaders of on a large scale to really begin to start. Hey, this is what I think we should do, especially on an economic system, right? With AI and a number of things. I've connected with some of those people, and I've seen you on EYL, right?
Yeah.
There's, I love what they're doing, but I think there's more here. Obviously, you got a lot on your plate, but just salute, brother, because I think you've knocked down a lot of doors I don't think a lot of people even thought was possible, And I know, like I said, I know you're gonna hear it a lot, but just to your team too, man. Thank you guys. I see y'all all over the place. I know y'all busy, and but anytime y'all in San Diego, we got y'all. It's all love.
Gratitude.
So
Man.
gratitude, brother. Yes, sir. Where y'all staying at? Y'all got a hotel or Airbnb?
We're not from here, but yeah, we got a B&B. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yes, sir.
Good shit.
We'll take a couple pictures.